Hey guys, my name is Lauren Rodriguez. I'm a realtor here in Gainesville, Florida for Keller Williams Gainesville Realty Partners. And I'm also an Airbnb manager for 9 units between Gainesville and St. Augustine, Florida. I wanted to do this video today to talk with people about how to get started in Airbnb. And so this is going to be very rudimentary information. Talk with people all the time who are trying to transition into short-term from long-term. People who are novice investors who are trying to get started in the short-term rental industry, as well as people who just want some general information to maybe diversify their portfolio. My focus is on property acquisition and also making the business run as lean and mean as possible. I am very much about systems. But before we get into all of that, I just wanted to share some general information about getting started with short-term rentals. Airbnb and STR is a term that have been used pretty interchangeably over the past few years. You'll hear a lot of people talking, oh, I want to get started in Airbnb. I want to have an Airbnb. What that actually means is I want to get started with short-term rentals. STR, short-term rentals, that's what it means. Airbnb is a platform where hosts can post their properties and guests can book those properties to stay for a certain amount of time so the host can earn money for said bookings. Airbnb has been around for more than a decade and has proven to be the force to be reckoned with as far as platforms for the industry. Now, there are a ton of other different platforms, Booking.com, VRBO, Furnish Finder, the list goes on and on. But for the sake of this conversation, we're going to be using STR and Airbnb as interchangeable terms. In 2020 alone, Florida hosts earned over $1.2 billion in income from Airbnb rentals, making it one of the top states in the country for Airbnb earning. Gainesville, Florida is one of the fastest growing cities in the South, and people from all over the country come here for school, for our hospitals, for nature. There are a bunch of weird things that happen here in town that people from all over the country come here for. And if you want more information on that, you can reach out to me. The first step to getting into Airbnb is understanding if the property you're looking for or the property you own is even eligible to do Airbnb. It's important for Airbnb hosts to understand the local and state laws that surround short-term rentals. In many states, Florida included, there are many laws and regulations at the local level as well as the state level. And hosts need to understand and adhere to those to avoid getting fined or shut down. Many of these states and counties are going to require certain permits or licensure in order to do property management. The magic with short term is that in the state of Florida, if it's 30 days or under, it's unregulated. However, if it's more than 30 days, it's going to be dependent on the county or state what licensure or permitting is going to be required. First thing you need to do is get in touch with the local government and do as much research and due diligence as possible to make sure that you are in compliance with all the regulations. The next thing that hosts want to familiarize themselves with is their market in general. So research the local Airbnb market to understand the demand for different types of properties and the prices that other hosts are charging. There are a couple tools that can help you with that. AirDNA, Price Labs, and Awning are 3 tools that I like to use when I'm doing research for the market. Even if I have a solid grasp on that market as far as what I could earn, I'm still going to lean on these resources to keep myself in check. These are going to help me figure out what the local competition is earning, what those rates are. For real estate agents, think of it as going into MLS and understanding what your comps are for the area. The next thing that hosts need to understand that this is a hospitality industry, and if you have terrible customer service and reviews, then you're going to die on the vine. There's really no other way to put it. If people roll up to your property and it is dirty, disheveled, it looks scary on the outside, the toilets are gross, the beds aren't made, there's stuff all over the floor, you name it, that is going to show in your reviews, and those reviews are going to let other potential guests know not to rent from you, which is not what you want to happen. The other thing is you also need to be available and responsive towards your guests. There's been multiple times where guests have reached out in the middle of the night because they couldn't figure out the Wi-Fi, or someone needed a blanket, or someone needed this or that. And I'm not saying that you need to be available at their beckoning call, but This is a hospitality business, and you do need to be hospitable as much as you possibly can. Being available and just communicating with them does wonders. Just think every day is a new day, and these guests are like Bambi. They don't know what they're doing. They've never been in your property. They don't know where the extra blankets are. If you can communicate that to them through text message or a phone call, then that's probably going to be it. You may not even have to go to the property, but sometimes you will have to go to the property. So just understand that is part of providing excellent customer service. Sometimes it's getting your hands dirty, and getting your hands dirty means going to the property and having to show them how to use your smart locks. As frustrating as it is, it happens. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. This goes more towards the marketing aspect, but the next tip would definitely be marketing the local attractions in the area. A lot of these people come into the area, may be familiar with it, but they're not as familiar with the area like you are. Like in my case, it would be the local university. People love to walk around there. There's a lot of events that the university hosts, concert venues, beaches, casinos, nature preserves, bike trails, walking trails, swimming pool, you name it. Shopping centers, you name it. Anything and everything that you can feature in a curated list or lightly feature it in your description would be a good idea. It's also a good idea to feature photos of some of those attractions within your listing as well. There are so many other things that I want to recommend and talk about, but I want to keep this video as short and concise as possible, as a quick run through of what to expect and just some general tips to get started with Airbnb. The platforms themselves are very user-friendly, so this video was not really about how to set up a listing or whatever. If you want to do that, you could reach out to me personally, and I can give you some more information on how to do that. I just wanted to share this video because there's a lot of people who ask me, how do I get started? How do you run your business? How do you run multiple properties? There's going to be more videos for all of those and how to run the business in a more streamlined and organized fashion. I'm a huge proprietor with short-term rentals, and I love talking about them. So if you ever have any questions, or if you're trying to get into the Airbnb space and you don't know where to start and you need some hand-holding, please reach out to me. Like I said, I love talking about these things. It has given me so many opportunities. It has allowed me to quote-unquote escape the matrix to a certain extent. And I love sharing that information with anyone who is willing to listen. And if you or anybody that you know is looking to relocate to the North Central Florida region, I am a licensed real estate agent and I am more than happy to help them. And if you have someone who has those needs, please reach out to me. My contact information is going to be at the end of this video. And until then, it would mean so much to me if you could like, subscribe, and comment. You can tell me that you hated this video or that I'm an idiot. Totally fine. The algorithm loves it. And it's also going to give me a better understanding of what to cover and what to avoid in the future. And if you stayed this long towards the end of the video, thank you so much for watching and happy hosting.